In our previous lecture, we have seen some of the methods after closing a frame. We have seen these kind of methods for implementation of creating a panel and a window and frame. So now we are going to see some of the different listeners which are being implemented on each component, right? So there are many components, and related to it, there are many listeners, because only trying to add some components on the frame will not work. You need to have some action performed or some methods implemented to it, and to communicate between the listener, the action performed on the particular component, you require some methods, right? So suppose you're going to use a button. So for a simple button, you will be needing a listener as action listener, and the methods implementing this listener will be action performed, right? So you need to remember these methods depending on what kind of listener you are going to implement for a particular component. Similarly, for checkbox, you will be using item listener, right? The method performing its action will be item state changed, right? So if it is by default as true, whenever we click on the other option, the item state will be changed. Right? Similarly, there's one more component as checkbox group with multiple options. Again, the same listener, item listener, and the same method used to implement it as item state changed. Then for text field and text area, there are again same. Right? The basic difference between these two components is that text field will be in a single line. It will be taking input in a single line, whereas text area will have multiple lines, right? So if I want to enter the user's first name, last name, right, as in these fields, so I can have a single line only. But if I want to get the address of the user, right, so I'll be requiring multiple lines. So in that case, such cases, I'll be using these two different components. And to have some action, I'll be using as focus listener. So whenever you press tab, right, your cursor is moved from one component to another component, right? So this is nothing but the focus listener. And action listener, whenever you want to perform some action on it, the particular listener will be called, right? So depending on these two listeners, you have action performed, a method of listener, and for focus you have focus gained and focus lost, right? So when the cursor is blinking on the particular component text field, then you call it as focus gained, and when you press tab and the focus, that is those, that cursor goes to the next component, and it is called as focus lost, right? Similar will be applied for text area also. There's no much difference, just a single line and multiple line. Then we have another component as choice. It also has action listener and item listeners. Okay, so action will be changed. So if I'm going to select a particular choice, depending on that choice, some action will be performed. Right? So this will be the action performed, and the state, the current state will be changed from some particular X to Y. Right? So that will be item state changed. Next, we have list. Again, there are two listeners, action listener and item listeners, right? So list will define after choosing a particular option, what action to be taken, and the state is being changed or not. Then we have scroll bar. And scroll bar has two different, again, you can say categories as vertical scroll bar and horizontal scroll bar. So there you can have adjustment listener, mouse motion listener, mouse listener, right? So if you're having only adjustment listener, you'll be implementing this method as adjustment value changed. Right? So this will be the method executing. For mouse motion listener, there are only two methods defined into it, as mouse dragged and mouse moved. Right? Remember this difference in mouse motion listener. two methods to be implemented as mouse dragged and mouse moved, right? So if I'm only moving my cursor, right, it will be again in mouse motion listener. If I'm clicking it and dragging somewhere on the frame, then it will be again in mouse motion listener, right? But in only mouse listener, I'll be having mouse clicked, mouse entered, and mouse exited. That means if I am clicking on a particular frame inside a frame, then it will be under mouse listener. If I just hover my mouse cursor into the frame or I exit it from the frame, then it will be again in this category, right? So dragging and moving will be in mouse motion listener, clicked, entered, and exit will be under mouse listener. And we have a frame. As we saw in this previous session, this implementation of window listener. So if you're going to use a component as frame and listener as in window listeners, you'll be having these methods. So an alternative for all these methods was window adapter. Then for keyboard, if I want to insert certain input from the keyboard, right? So I need to have this listener as key listener, and the methods are key pressed, key released, and key typed, right? So the moment you press, but you're not releasing the keyboard yet, until you're pressed, it will be as key pressed. When you release your the click from the keyboard, then it will be called as click released, and on which button you pressed and released, the particular keyword will be typed, right? So it is for all keywords, or you can say all buttons on the uh, your keyboard, right? And lastly, for label, there's no listener required for it because there is no action performed on label. It will be just giving you a text displayed on the screen. So even if you click on it, there will be no action performed. So that's why there's no listener for label. Okay. Just a small introduction before going to the actual implementation of these sample components. There's a concept called as applet. Right? It's an old part because nowadays nobody uses applet because of less security, or you can say some there are some limitations while using applet. This is the actual life cycle of an applet, right? So it has 5 different stages. As first stage as init, it is the initialization. Then it moves on to start, that is your applet being loaded into memory and then started. Then it has a paint method. Whatever the service or business logic you have been provided in the applet, it will be executed. The main part of applet is that whenever you try to execute it, it has its own applet window, right? So your business logic, whatever you can say output you have written, is first downloaded into that application in the applet application and then started to execute, right? So if there's some animation or some you can say another activity you're going to play, or some GIF image you are being animated over there, so you can stop that activity, right? But the contents of that update will still be loaded into it. And finally you can have a destroy method, right? And there's one more loop from start to stop, so you can have that activity continuously. So whenever you stop an activity, you can again start it, so it will again call to a paint method, right? Unless and until you use destroy, the applet will be in the memory, so it will be loaded, right? So if you destroy and again try to use this start method, it won't, because the applet is not being initialized, right? So it must be first loaded into the memory, then it will be starting, and whatever your business logic is, it will be executed, will be downloaded in the applet window, and then it will be started. And you can stop it, you can start it again and again, but unless you use this destroy method, the entire component, the entire objects variables related to that initialized applet will be totally flushed away from the memory, and you have to, if you want to start that applet again, you have to again initialize it, that is load it into the memory, and then again move on to this process, right? So just a small overview to see how it can be implemented. You'll see a small example of how applets can be written. There's a slight change whenever you try to execute this applet. You'll see that. Need to extend the applet class. Now we'll try to execute those methods, right? It were init, start, paint, stop, and destroy. So we'll go with the first one. Right, now we'll use the paint method, right? Whenever you think of an applet window, basically everything is being drawn, right? As on a canvas, you use a paintbrush, right, with different colors, right? Even if you write a text, the text is has to be drawn with the paint, right? In a similar way, if even if I use some text to display over there, I'll be drawing it on the canvas, that is on the applet window. We use drawString method, and we'll provide the x and y coordinates on the screen where it will be printed. Okay, let's save this. Now for compilation, this normal process. Okay, there's one more point I forgot to say. Uh, for compilation, we use this process as javac the file name .java, right? But for execution, we go for applet viewer, right? So to view your applet, you need some extra HTML file, or you can just embed a little bit code over here, so that you may tell the you can say compiler that this will be the applet size for your below code, right? So we need to declare it here as applet. To your code is just write your file name, specify your height and width. You'll have 300 by 300, you can say actual size of this window. Okay, then we'll close this tag and close the declaration, right? So this will indicate the, you can say, which class applet should be displayed within what size. So I'll save this again. I'll compile again. So for executing the Java applet program, you need to write applet viewer, your file name .java. Right? No need of using this command as Java and then the file name. You can see here applet is being initialized. I think it's not because of the older versions. The latest versions what we are using today, applets mostly are not being supported, but still you can see you have a default menu bar over here. This is the status bar, right? And this is the entire applet window. So this message over here, which was into 10 comma 30, so 10 will be your x and y, 30 will be your y, so it must be displayed over here, right? So due to the version, the applets are not being supported more over here, right? But you can see the default window of how applets are, right? This is the icon of Java used. This is the title automatically given because nowhere we have used here as the title providing for the your applet. So applet viewer automatically it gives you whatever your class name is, right? Mainly you have seen over here that no main method is being used to execute a Java applet program, right? So if there's no Java applet program or main method uh, written over here, no, this will be some, can say, this method to execute your applet program. This is just for an introduction, right? Moreover, we'll be focusing on AWT and swing concepts, right? And also have, you can see to display an image. I've taken two, you can see, small icons and displayed it that. So this is your package name and this will be the class name. So AWT.star won't let you to know these classes names. So you need to have a little bit thorough study of which class are going to be implemented, right? Mostly what we do is we directly write it as import java.awt.star and we try to implement many of these components below, but we are unaware of what actually we are going to implement it here. We'll display two images by using this class as image1 and image2. Load first image by getImage method, and the actual, you can see, path from getting the document base. Give the parameters for the image. We'll be defining it as here as image1 and image2 and then declaring it in the applet code so that which images we are going to load it to display. Right now we'll name it as image1. So this will be our first image. Similarly for image2, Now we'll use paint method. Draw image, rather than draw string, draw image. Your first image, decide the pixels where it you want to. We'll start from the first pixel. For second image, we'll start from, suppose it is 100 by 100. Now we need to tell our program that which kind of images we are going to load into this program. So that will be under the declaration part as applet. Class name. Then the width and height. And then we need to define the parameters names of image 1 and image 2, right? We have given here. So get parameter we have said here. So we need to provide it the parameters here. So parameter name equal to, we have first as image 1 and its value will be, I've used two images, the small icons as Facebook and Google. So facebook.png extension is very important. Second one, the name as image 2 and its value. The second image is Google PNG, right? And here, and the applet code and the declaration. Okay, I'll save this. Okay. I've saved those two images, facebook.png, where I'm storing this program. So it will be in the default location. If not, you can provide the location here. Okay. The images are too big, I think. I'll use the icons. Here also underscore icon. So these both are being stored in the same default. I'll close this and we'll again compile it. Yeah, now we can see that these are the small icons into specified 600 by 600 applet window. You can see there's a little bit flickering whenever we refresh this window, its size, right? So this is how your animation each time is being shown per second, per millisecond. Your frame is being refreshed and the new part, whatever is being displayed. So this flickering must be avoided because this will not have a smooth execution, right? So there were some limitations, and this is the actual window of an applet viewer. So whenever I write anything, right, even if there is a text on this window, applet window, it is said to be drawn, right? So the pixels are activated. Rather than text, there are some ASCII values, right? So here there are no ASCII values, there are pixels for text, also for images also. So everything here in the applet is drawn rather than written. And you can see As compared to frame, this window gets closed automatically when I click on this rather than from the terminal or programmatically. I have not written any code or any, you can say, action for window closing.